From the Detroit Free Press, it's Wednesday, March 10th. Here are today's top stories. Presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist at the Detroit Free Press. A third round of stimulus payments is expected to be on the way in March. The House of Representatives appears on track for a final vote Wednesday on President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. If the plan passes as expected, the president will sign the legislation into law, and many taxpayers will receive extra money as early as sometime in March. But here's an early warning. If you don't get a stimulus check this time around, it could be because you're never going to get one. Roughly 6.5 million households that received money in the past now won't be able to bank on receiving either the full $1,400 payment or even a partial payment when it comes to the latest economic impact payments. That's according to estimates by the nonprofit Nonpartisan Tax Foundation. The reason? The income limits are going to be tougher this time around. The stimulus phase-out starts at $75,000 for singles and $150,000 in adjusted gross income for married couples. Singles earning $80,000 or more won't get a check. Married couples earning $160,000 or more won't get a third stimulus check either. But you may be able to claim some stimulus money next year in 2022 if your income this year is way down. The IRS is going to use your 2019 or your 2020 income tax return information to roll out the next stimulus. On the plus side, under the latest program, additional payments could go to all dependents, not just children 16 and younger. And yes, those additional payments will be higher as well. As part of the third stimulus, all dependents, regardless of age, qualify for up to an extra $1,400. As a result, college students age 23 or younger could qualify.
For the Detroit Free Press, this is Joe Guillen. Lawyers for former Governor Rick Snyder were in court on Tuesday to get charges thrown out that he neglected his duties during the Flint water crisis. But Judge William Crawford II of the Genesee County District Court said he needs another week to rule on Snyder's request. Snyder's legal team said the two misdemeanor charges must be dismissed because they were charged in the wrong court. Under the law, they said, the charges should not have been filed in Flint, but in Lansing, where Snyder's office was. Prosecutors with the Attorney General's office said that argument is wrong. Not only is Flint the proper venue for the case, as prosecutors, they must prove at the trial that the crimes in fact occurred in Genesee County, where Flint is located. After listening to both sides argue their points for more than an hour, Crawford said he will try to issue his ruling within the next week.
This is Neeraj Warku of the Detroit Free Press with some news about the COVID vaccine and how it relates to the Catholic faith. In Michigan, Catholic bishops are warning that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is not suitable because it's tied to an aborted fetus, which they say violates church doctrine against abortion. They are saying, however, that if no other alternatives are available, it is permissible for Catholics to take the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The statement was released a few days ago and came the day after a national group of bishops also voiced concern.
This is Phoebe Wall-Howard, an automotive reporter at the Detroit Free Press. I spoke with Sergio Rodriguez, who just purchased an all-electric Mustang Mach-E, and he had to decide should he ship the SUV from Southern California to his home in Georgia or drive it cross-country. Based on his ownership of Tesla and Hyundai Ioniq, he hesitated because, frankly, those vehicles have not been very comfortable on long trips. But after flying to California and driving his new vehicle a few days, he changed his mind. He ended up driving cross-country, spending $160 on fuel, and shares his story and video with us at freep.com. We also talk with 4 other new owners of the Mustang Mach-E.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department, and the big news on Tuesday was that the Detroit Lions declined to use the franchise tag on wide receiver Kenny Golladay, effectively making him an unrestricted free agent. What does that mean for the rebuilding Lions? Dave Burkett and Carlos Bonares share their thoughts.
If I was the Lions, I would have franchised Golladay, looked to make a deal elsewhere. I don't think he fits into the long-term future of this team, just based on, what happened last year and him, seeming like maybe he didn't quite want to be here as much anymore. He wants to get paid more than anything. And I realize maybe it's easier to say a trade was going to happen than it wasn't. But yeah, I'm a little surprised that the Lions did not, given how much emphasis they've put on the future here in this rebuild, that they did not try to get a little bit more than that late third round pick that they're going to get for him in the compensatory phase.
This is the year of demanding trades. The quarterbacks have set that example for the whole NFL. The players are taking the power back and they're standing up and say, I'll go here, I won't go there. And Golladay may have said, do you want another season of me getting hurt? Do you want me to hold out during camp? Do you want me to be a problem? You're going to spend all that money and it's going to be fruitless.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. And if you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer. See you tomorrow.